A manhunt is underway right now for the gunman who shot and killed the top executive of America's largest private health insurance company.
The New York Police Department says he was targeted in a pre-planned attack. NBC News has obtained surveillance video of the moment of the shooting.
So, since no one's going to say it, I'm just going to go ahead and say it myself. If this UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson had been carrying a gun, it's probable he still could be alive today. Look, anyone who's seen the video can see that the shooter's gun jammed like 4 or 5 times.
After he strikes Thompson the first time, the gun actually jams, and then he resolves it and keeps going. That could be evidence of the fact that this was a proficient and perhaps professional killer.
And between each shot, the guy had to rack the slide. That's a lot of time in a life or death situation. If Thompson had been armed, he could have drawn his own gun, returned fire, and likely stopped the threat.
We've stopped it before the first shot is fired, and we're only going to show you this once. Some viewers may find it disturbing. It shows UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson wearing that blue jacket, walking into frame. The shooter appears behind him, draws his gun, pulls the trigger, shooting multiple times.
Surveillance images released by the NYPD show the gunman getting away from the scene on an electric bicycle. This all unfolded shortly before 7 this morning. The shooting scene is just blocks away from where we are at Rockefeller Plaza, which is hosting the Rockefeller tree lighting ceremony tonight. Police said the suspect was last seen heading into Central Park.
Now, you could beg the question, he got shot in his back and he got shot in his calf. So maybe not. But still, he's gun malfunctioned 4 or 5 times.
Gun actually jams?
I'm just saying, carry a gun. At bare minimum, he would have got a couple of hits on the guy shooting at him, and we would have a lot more information than what we have right now.
This all starting at about 6:45 this morning. That's when law enforcement said that the shooter was essentially on the sidewalk but hiding, and then came out as Brian Thompson, 50 years old, CEO of the largest private insurer in the country, at least the insurance arm of the company, and was gunned down. What is so sort of unsettling about this video, among other things, is the fact that you will see the shooter walk up, right? We freeze it when he fires the gun. But then there's a woman that's in the corner, you can see earlier in the shot, that is just standing there in the doorway. And so the shooter approaches and clearly goes and guns down Thompson, shoots him in the back, and there's a woman wondering if she's going to be shot. And then she just kind of staggers away and then runs away. He had no intention of killing her, which perhaps speaks to the narrative that police are saying that this was a targeted attack.
And here's something else that stands out. This happened in New York, where suppressors are illegal. Yet somehow this guy managed to get his hands on one. I'm not saying that to call for more laws. I'm saying it to point out how useless these existing laws are. This is this type of situation that proves criminals will find a way to get whatever they want. Gun-free zones didn't stop him. Suppressor bans didn't stop him. He still managed to pull this off, and no law was going to stop that. What's wild is that this guy didn't even know his suppressor and ammo wouldn't work with his gun. He turned it into what was basically a one-shot bolt-action handgun. If he had actually tested this setup beforehand, he would have known it wasn't going to run. And yet, despite all of that, he still managed to rack that slide and fire multiple times before taking off on a city bike in New York City in broad daylight or broad nightlight, whatever you want to call it.
Of course, this all also happened in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. It's a busy holiday season, security everywhere. We have the tree lighting tonight here at Rockefeller Plaza. What are officials doing to keep us safe?
They say that the entire area is saturated with detectives, counterterrorism police officers, beat cops who are out there on the streets, that there's plenty of protection and eyes out on everything, and they don't seem to be alarmed at all.
How is this even possible in a city with some of the strictest gun laws in the country, with the most police officers walking the street in the country? And where was the protection for this guy? This man was the CEO of a massive corporation, yet he had no armed security with him? How does that make sense? The fact that he was left vulnerable like this blows my mind, but it also highlights something very crucial. No matter how much money you have, no matter how many police are around, if someone decides to target you, they can get to you. Maybe this guy thought he couldn't be touched, but he got touched 4 or 5 times. Well, actually twice. But let's talk about what's going to happen next, because I can already see it coming. New York is going to use this incident to push for even more restrictions on suppressors. I know the anti-gun lobby is probably going to do the same. Probably on the federal level too, they'll try to push it. They'll claim suppressors are too dangerous and that no one was able to hear the shot and come to the guy's rescue and some nonsense like that. And try to use this as proof as to why we need to crack down even harder with more gun control laws. It's predictable at this point. Never mind the fact that the suppressor didn't even work properly. Well, it kind of did, but the gun didn't work properly. You get the point. The narrative is all that matters to them. And can we talk about the timing here? Right when we're finally in a position to get suppressors taken off of the NFA, this happens. A high-profile crime with a suppressor in one of the most anti-gun states in the country. I'm not usually a conspiracy theory guy, but even I'm breaking out my tinfoil hat on this one. The timing is just way too damn convenient. And let's not ignore the fact that this was clearly a hit. The only question is, why? Was it someone mad about insurance coverage, or is this something deeper? Either way, the sheer sloppiness of the execution, pun intended, is baffling. The shooter didn't even bother to test his setup beforehand, yet he still got away, biking off like he just finished a casual errand. That says a lot about how unprepared the system is to handle this type of situation. And yet these same type of people want to tell us that we shouldn't have guns to protect ourselves. So here's the bottom line. Gun control doesn't work. Laws don't stop criminals, and the government isn't going to be there to protect you when it counts. If Brian Thompson had been armed, this could have probably ended differently. That's what the Second Amendment is about, protecting yourself when no one else can or will. So let me know what you guys think. Is this some big type of conspiracy? Or do you think this is just some rogue insurance premium anger type situation where he wanted to kill the guy he felt was responsible for not covering his claim? But either way, let me know what you think in the comment section. And before you go, I want to talk to you about our holiday sale. That's right, we have a holiday sale for Christmas. Everything at shop.mrcolionnoir.com is going to be 15% off when you use the code DEFENDAmerica. That's right, use Defend America and get 15% off of our premium embroidered hoodie, as you can see that I'm wearing right here. It's a beautiful, lovely hoodie in all of our designs. This is our Keep America tactical design here in Texas, but we have them in all of the states, and we have them in all the other designs that I have on shop.mrcolionnoir.com, including drinkware, including hats, you name it. And also our AKT1, my favorite in-ear Bluetooth hearing protection. These bad boys are also gonna be 15% off when you use the code DEFENDAmerica. And also the Flip Lock, which was the device that I recently did a video on where I shot it to see if it would stop at 2-3-5-5-6. And it definitely did and held its own. So hit the link in the description section of this video and take advantage of that 15% off sale going on right now at shop.mrcolionnoir.com. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.